You are not random. You are not too emotional. If Punarvasu is strong in your chart, your personality is built around a rare power. The power to recover, restore, and bring life back into people, relationships, and situations that looked emotionally drained. That is your edge. If you understand it early, you stop seeing sensitivity as weakness and start using it as strength. When I look at Punarvasu, I see someone who can bend without breaking. You may get affected by life deeply, but you also have an unusual ability to come back wiser, softer, sharper, and more human. That is the hidden signature here. This is why Punarvasu connects strongly with certain MBTI and Enneagram patterns. On the MBTI side, ENFJ, INFJ, and ISFJ make immediate sense. These types are not just emotional, they are built around people reading, emotional pattern recognition, guidance, conscience, and helping growth happen in real life. Punarvasu carries that same psychological architecture. You read moods, you feel what is shifting underneath the words. You often know when someone needs encouragement, protection, direction, or simply a safe emotional space. If you lean ENFJ, Punarvasu can make you the motivator, the encourager, the one who sees potential in people before they see it in themselves. If you lean INFJ, the energy becomes more inward, symbolic, and psychological. You may understand pain, meaning, and contradiction at a depth that makes people feel seen. If you lean ISFJ, Punarvasu becomes practical care. You remember, support, protect, and quietly hold things together when others start falling apart. Now look at the Enneagram side. Type 9, Type 2, and Type 4 all fit here, but for different reasons. Type 9 reflects Punarvasu's need for restoration, inner calm, and emotional harmony. You may dislike harshness or unnecessary conflict because your system is built to bring things back into balance. Type 2 reflects your nurturing side, your instinct to help, support, and emotionally feed people. Type 4 reflects the reflective, emotionally textured side of Punarvasu, the part that feels deeply, searches for authenticity, and wants life to have emotional meaning rather than surface level success. But your greatest strength can become your greatest trap. Because Punarvasu is adaptable, you can start over adjusting. Because you are empathetic, you can carry what is not yours. Because you are nurturing, you can build your identity around rescuing people who have no intention of changing. That is when sensitivity turns into exhaustion. That is when empathy turns into burnout. That is when your gift starts costing you your center. So what is the real lesson of Punarvasu? Care without collapsing, help without losing direction, feel deeply without drowning in every mood around you. This nakshatra is not asking you to become less sensitive. It is asking you to become stronger inside your sensitivity. Now let's make this practical through the houses. If Punarvasu is in the first house, your personality carries a soft, intelligent, emotionally approachable energy. People may trust you quickly. But you can also become too responsive to other people's needs. You must build identity, not just rapport. In the second house, your voice matters. Your speech can heal, teach, reassure, and emotionally connect. Money may come through education, writing, counseling, advising, or training. But watch emotional spending, family guilt, or saying what keeps peace instead of what is true. In the third house, this becomes communication with the heart. You may be gifted in writing, speaking, teaching, content creation, or storytelling. But your challenge is confidence. Honest expression is not cruelty. In the fourth house, Punarvasu becomes rooted in home, emotional foundations, and the need to create safety. This can make you the emotional anchor in your family, but it can also make you carry too much of the family's emotional weather. In the fifth house, you get creative warmth. This can show up as teaching children, inspiring others, artistic writing, mentoring, or emotionally rich romance. But there can be idealism here too. Life will teach you to create from truth, not from the need to be understood by everyone. In the 6th house, Punarvasu becomes service. This is powerful for counseling, psychology, health support, education, coaching, and problem-solving roles. But if you do not monitor your energy, you become tired from everyone else's chaos. In the 7th house, relationships become central to your evolution. You want emotional safety, reciprocity, and a partner who feels human, not just impressive. But if you are not careful, you will confuse love with emotional labor. In the 8th house, the emotional depth intensifies. This can produce strong psychological insight, healing potential, and a real ability to help people through transformation. But it can also bring hidden grief or trust issues. Your power here comes from learning that depth is not the same as damage. In the 9th house, Punarvasu turns toward teaching, purpose, spirituality, ethics, and meaningful knowledge. You may be drawn to become the guide, the mentor, the educator, the one who turns life experience into wisdom for others. In the 10th house, your career can become your platform for care, guidance, healing, or human development. You may do well in counseling, education, leadership, communication, or community building. Do not mistake softness for lack of ambition. In the 11th house, you build communities, friendships, and networks through warmth and inclusion. You can become the connector, the listener, the person who makes groups feel more human. But not every group deserves your life force. In the 12th house, this becomes compassion, retreat, inner healing, and spiritual sensitivity. You may need solitude more than others, but boundaries are non-negotiable here, or you disappear into everyone else's pain. Now let's talk about planets, because this is where the personality becomes more precise. Mercury in Punarvasu gives emotionally intelligent communication. You speak to guide, teach, calm, and connect. This is excellent for writing, coaching, counseling, training, education, and content that makes complex ideas feel human. But it can also create overthinking, indecision, or softening the truth too much. Moon in Punarvasu is one of the clearest signatures of emotional intelligence. You feel, absorb, and nurture naturally. People often sense warmth in you, but you can also get pulled into moods, memory, nostalgia, or taking responsibility for other people's feelings. Your emotional gift becomes powerful only when it is paired with self-respect. Mars in Punarvasu fights differently. This is the protective fighter. You act when someone needs defending, when something needs restoring, or when care itself must become courage. But anger can become passive, delayed, or complicated. Learn directness. Venus in Punarvasu wants tenderness, emotional safety, loyalty, and connection that actually feels nourishing. You're not satisfied by empty attraction. In love, you may become deeply giving and supportive, but you must watch over giving, idealization, or staying too long because your heart wants to heal what your mind already knows is broken. If your ascendant falls in Punarvasu, this becomes your whole lens. Your body language, identity, and instinctive approach to life carry the theme of renewal and emotional intelligence. People may read you as kind, thoughtful, adaptable, and trustworthy, but your life lesson is sharp. Do not become so available to life that you forget to choose yourself. Rahu in Punarvasu amplifies hunger around belonging, healing, care, emotional influence, or becoming the guide. This can make you ambitious in helping professions or emotionally magnetic in public roles. But Rahu also distorts. So the person may perform healing before they are healed, or chase emotional importance before building inner clarity. Ketu in Punarvasu brings an old familiarity with care, emotional cycles, and inner wisdom. You may naturally understand what people need, but feel strangely detached from your own needs. You may know how to guide others while struggling to receive support yourself. The growth here is learning that wisdom without receptivity becomes loneliness. So if you have strong Punarvasu, what should you actually do with it? Build a life where your empathy becomes skill, not leakage. Choose work where emotional intelligence is rewarded. Develop boundaries early. Learn to say no without guilt. Strengthen decision making. Stop trying to save people who refuse to participate in their own growth. And stop underestimating the power of your presence. You do not only comfort people, you reorient them. You help them return to themselves. That is the real magic of Punarvasu. You are not here merely to feel. You are here to restore. You are here to bring people back to hope, back to clarity, back to emotional truth, back to the part of themselves they almost lost. And when you stop apologizing for that gift, your personality becomes unmistakable. If this described you, do not leave it at general insight. Get specific. Your chart will show where this nurturing power becomes your voice, your love pattern, your career path, your struggle, and your growth. Reach out to me for a deep personality reading and let's decode your nakshatra, your MBTI style wiring, your emotional pattern, and your life direction in a way that actually helps you move with clarity. And this is why Punarvasu often wins later, not earlier. You are built for emotional maturity, not shallow speed. The moment you stop chasing validation and start trusting your restoring nature, people feel your value instantly. You become the calm in chaos, the mind with heart, the healer with direction, the guide people remember long after the conversation ends. That is your real long-term power.